Hey, what's up guys? I'm Madmadix. In this video I want to talk about the state of PlayStation. So if you didn't know, PlayStation has officially announced that they will be ceasing the production of physical disc copies in 2028, and they will be going for a fully digital future of gaming. So this news has been met with fans starting to boycott PlayStation, with many going to social media and posting pictures or screenshots of them canceling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions, um, refunding several games, and in some cases I've seen screenshots of people actually refunding their pre-orders for GTA 6, which I do understand that because this is quite convenient that a couple weeks after GTA 6 has kind of, or Rockstar has kind of said that, you know, they're not going to be doing any sort of physical media. Um, that's kind of interesting. So, if we really look at it, I feel like Rockstar has kind of, in a way, sped up the process for PlayStation to go fully digital, since they've seen, oh, hey, Rockstar's able to sell this game um, really successfully without physical discs, then maybe we can do it too. But the whole Rockstar situation is a whole different thing, whole different ballpark, because I mean it's one of the most anticipated games of these past couple decades, or even really in gaming history, honestly. But anyway, that's a whole nother video I would get into. But somehow an idea from Sony that has, you know, the idea comes from trying to get them more money, has backfired. Um, like almost every one of their ideas in the past several years, they have been making bad decision after bad decision over and over and over again. But if you guys are new to the channel, I am somewhat of a Sony fan. I wouldn't call myself a fanboy, a Sony fanboy. I don't defend them when they are making stupid decisions. Um, I'm just a fan. I grew up playing on PlayStation. I played some Xbox 360, but it was mostly PlayStation. So, I mean, I'm obviously kind of biased towards it, but as the years go by, I'm slowly starting to be pushed away from PlayStation in general, like many other players. So I want to go into this point. I think removing physical discs will hurt PlayStation in the future. I'm of the opinion that this decision that PlayStation has made is the beginning of something that will cost Sony way more money than they will make right now. I mean, obviously, right now, they'll probably still see profits with everything, but I feel like in the future they will start to see that, people really like physical media. I understand that most games nowadays are sold digitally, but there's still a large portion that are purchased physically. People like physical media video games. This has even been, amplified and proven by, the GTA 6 physical copy discourse. People are seeing that all the quote unquote physical copies for GTA 6 are really just codes in a case. But the idea of fully going digital is not a smart idea for the future. It's just not. I understand that now it will not be as obvious, but I mean later people will stop purchasing games on PlayStation Store. They're going to stop. It's just a matter of time. And I've seen this even with myself. Even before they even announced this, I kind of stopped, getting games on the PlayStation Store because it's so expensive. You can even see this in specifically older games. If you look at the PlayStation Store right now, there are many older games that are still priced as like games that just came out. I mean, okay, here I'll do some examples. Let's take a look at Call of Duty, for example. Um, I looked in several different places. I looked in the PlayStation Store. I looked, just on the internet for physical copies, like from eBay or Amazon or something like that, maybe from like Walmart or something like that, and then I looked on Steam. So what I noticed is that when I looked in the PlayStation Store, all of these games were at least $50. And, you know, with no sale, PlayStation didn't do a sale, just normally. If you wanted to normally buy this game on just a random day without it being a sale, these were at least $50 for the standard editions. Okay. And some of the ultimate and gold editions even being more. And I mean, and these three games I am showing up on the screen. It's COD Infinite Warfare, COD Ghost, and COD World War II. These three games have been out for at least a decade, at least 10 years. Now, if we look at how much these games cost on Steam and physical copies, they're significantly cheaper. Many of these physical copies are almost $50 cheaper to buy than the standard versions off of the PlayStation Store. I mean, why would people buy a game at full price when they can buy the same game and even a, you know, gold or ultimate version of the game at a significantly cheaper price? I mean, sure, with ordering the game from Amazon or eBay, it would take a couple of days to get to you. In some cases, you know, it's a decent trade-off. It's a decent amount of money people would be saving. For example, I mean, you're saving $50, $40, $50 in some cases. That's like, say you're coming home from work one day, you just want to grab some Taco Bell on the way home, man. That's 15, $20 is like a small meal. I mean, that's like a meal for some people. Most people don't have this disposable income like some of these people do. I know for sure I don't. It's getting to the point to where games are really expensive for me, and especially on PlayStation. I'll say I found myself the past couple of games I bought have been on the Steam store, or they have been on Xbox, or they have been physical copies. I recently bought Call of Duty World at War off of like eBay for like 10 to 15 bucks. I can't remember. You can't even, I don't think you can even get that on PlayStation anyway. I got like the first Lego Batman off of eBay or something like that, probably like $10. Those games are cheap. Those are games I can buy like four of them, have have games I grew up playing, and still be able to, eat a meal afterwards. Anyway, my point with all of this is that PlayStation, they're making it to where they are pushing out their own players and making them realize that there are better and cheaper alternatives. And this is ultimately losing Sony more money that they could be making, because they are pushing so many players out. They have been, they're just, everything on their store is so much money, and they do have sales. I'll give them that. They do have a good amount of sales, and some of their deals are decent, but I mean, for the most part, it's still pretty expensive, man. There are a lot of games that are just should not be how much they are on the PlayStation Store. PlayStation in general is becoming a more expensive option. Okay, this kind of goes into the last point I had, but in the past, consoles were supposed to be cheaper and affordable. They were supposed to be, alternatives to owning and buying like a PC. Nowadays, not so much, man. I mean, if we look at the PS5, they're still raising the prices of not only the consoles themselves, but they are also raising the prices of PlayStation Plus, and they are raising the prices of some of their games. I fear, when PS6 comes out, people just won't be able to afford it. Even now, there are people that still, I know we all make fun of them. I was there, I've been there. There are still people who have a PlayStation 4 that have not got the PS5 yet. Now, I know that's a minority at this point, but there are still those people out there who are waiting to get the PS5. Recently, a leaker that is notorious for leaking stuff from like Sony and, PlayStation and everything like that, suggested that, the PS6, based off of the materials pricing for PlayStation, that they would likely be selling the PS6 for at least $1,000, or slightly above. So anywhere from the range of 1,000, 1,200, 1,300, depending on the version. You've got the Slims. If they could do the bullshit where they have the PlayStation 6 Slim, PlayStation 6 Pro. I'm guessing the PlayStation 6 Pro would probably go upwards of like 1,500. Pricing of everything is starting to get out of control, man. Like, imagine you want to get a PS6, okay? Imagine in 2027. That's when they say they're probably gonna have the PS6 out. Imagine you want to get a PlayStation 6 and 27. That's, I mean, let's just say for argument's sake it's 1,000 flat. And say you want to buy three or four new games on the PlayStation 6 when you get the console. The way games are selling right now, it's probably going to be around $60 to $80 for fresh standard editions of video games, and that's three of them. You know, that's around 1,400, 1,500, 1,500. That's a lot of money, man. $1,500 is a lot of money. And I don't know where PlayStation and, you know, Sony got this idea that most people can afford this. It's just not realistic, honestly. This will probably cost them more money. Like, them bringing out the PlayStation 6, I feel like is going to cost them more money than anything else. Forget the whole, like, going fully digital. I feel like they're going to make a lot of these PlayStation 6s, manufacture a lot of these, and they're just going to end up having, like, not even half of it sold. I know I'm probably not going to be buying the PlayStation 6 personally because it's just getting too expensive. With this amount of money, $1,500 is a lot of money. With that amount of money, you can buy like a decent gaming laptop, and even sometimes you can build your own budget PC with that. Right now, I own a gaming laptop that cost me about $2,000, you know, including tax and delivery to me. This gaming laptop is a good gaming laptop, good affordable one. I've had it for a good amount of time, and I mean, it can run games like Red Dead Redemption 2, obviously on like medium settings, but still, it can run most decent, good like AAA games. Most people will either buy an Xbox or go to the PC route in these coming years. I really do think when the PlayStation 6 comes out, you know, the whole them going fully digital, and on top of that, having their PlayStation 6 cost the same amount of money as like owning a country. I mean, dude, come on. PlayStation is slowly but surely making worse and worse decisions that are causing the company's downfall. I don't want to fully say that this is going to be the end of PlayStation, but I mean, the signs are there, and it's starting to look like it's going to happen. So they are trying to cut costs. I'm telling you, they are really trying to cut costs, and it's not working. And you can see this in their past decisions and their present decisions. I mean, it's obvious that PlayStation is trying to cut costs because they have lost massive amounts of money after, you know, their past horrible decisions. I mean, video game flop after flop, honestly. The most notable ones being like Concord. Ghost of Yotei wasn't really a flop per se. There were a lot of people that didn't like it, but at least you can give it that. At least it got a decent amount of game sales. And then there's some others that are kind of, you know, little less known. I mean, does anyone remember Lord of the Rings Golem? Horizon Forbidden West wasn't one that was too crazy well received, but there's still, I would say, you know, decent games that survived their first week of being out. This itself needed its own section because if you really look into it and how much money they lost just off of Concord is like eye-watering. We all obviously know everything about Concord. This has been a whole thing. This will never be forgotten, honestly. This will be known for the rest of gaming industry history, okay? But it shut down shortly after, and it was a massive loss for Sony. It lost under $500 million. Almost $400 million, and probably a little over $400 million was lost. I mean, they didn't make that back. They didn't even make a penny off of that, because even then, after they shut down the game, they refunded every single person who bought the game. I understand that it's a big corporation, man, but after losing that amount of money, that has to be a massive hit for Sony. That, there's no way. They still have to be recovering for this, and they probably won't recover for a very long time. Anyway, with all that done, what my point really is for all this is that for a corporation that wants to make money so much, they sure are making horrible decisions. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. Sony, well, they might be really stupid, but Sony's, you know, they're humans. They have a basic um understanding of things. They have pattern recognition. You can see that making a shitty decision and then making another shitty decision and then making another one probably isn't good for your company. I mean, honestly, coming from a avid console fan, just consoles in general, not even Sony specifically. If I were them, and this any normal person can see this, but they're just trying to pander to certain people and do, certain things. They're trying to pander to investors and doing all this and that, but it's not working for them. If it were me, I'm not really a Sony fan anymore, but even to the fanboys out there and to Sony fans in general, I would not be giving them any more money until they can get their shit straight, honestly. This is ridiculous. PlayStation increasing prices of games, increasing the subscription prices, and removing the physical discs, the production of physical discs, and worst of all, making that the next generation of consoles like $1,000. For a company that is that greedy, you would think they could maybe predict past a couple of years than in the long run. I mean, it'll probably be more costly than profitable in the long run. Unfortunately, I feel like PlayStation had a good run, but I'm sure in the coming years, PlayStation will be coming to an end as they hike prices up so much that they probably it's going to make it to where it's not affordable for anyone. And that's in turn going to make it to where Sony loses profits and they lose money and they inevitably have to call it quits, They're driving out so many people, man. Especially with this decision. But, I mean, if you guys did like this video, please like and subscribe. Comment your thoughts below. I'd love to see them. If you guys did like this content, please just let me know. Because I really find myself starting to enjoy kind of like the commentary content. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.